And ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? It's Rebel Joe coming at you once again, live and loud, and I'm coming up with my crazy talks. And when you know it, along the way, I met some people that are just as crazy as me. Man, gonna bring on my co-host here, Drew. Drew, hey, how you doing, man? Unmute. Your mic is muted, my man. Hey, Drew.
Yo, what's
Yo,
up,
what's up,
JoJo?
JoJo?
Hey, I can hear you now. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, man. As a matter of fact, I'm actually glad that my sound's working because I think it was weird. Like we had a little bit of, kind of a thing going on. So yeah.
Yeah. Technology doesn't really like us that much, but hey, what can we do? We still burn through, right? We are reckless, and we just do it, my man. But speaking of crazy stories, I got some crazy stories and stuff. But I think you've assembled some people that just fit in right with us in our crazy ideas, crazy styles, crazy ways, crazy fucking everything we do. So I'll let you introduce our guest this evening.
All right. So we got the homie T Lolly Rot of Biofreak Records.
We lost him. We lost him. We lost him.
Oh
I
man.
tried. I tried to add him, but we lost him. You know what? It's okay. Just keep the. We can keep this going, my man.
All right.
All right,
We'll bring him back as soon as he signs back in.
Sounds good.
sounds good.
Yeah. So I'm going to be bringing some Hollow Earth stuff tonight, just because I had it ready. And I don't know. We've never really talked about it, me and you. So I don't know if you believe in Hollow Earth, Flat Earth, or whatever. You just come along with my crazy ideas, and you're like, shit, man. I'll participate in that. So, here he is. Here's your friend. We'll bring him on.
T Lolly Rot.
Hey, what's up, my dudes?
Yo, what up, brother?
Not much. I am just in the vehicle with my significant other because he is. We're going. Where are we going to get the whole skillet
Oh,
the
right on,
OG
man.
one, the one where. So if the reception is really bad on my end, I apologize. The car is not. We're we should be in a more stable area hopefully soon. So you come a real lever. But are you guys doing today? How's your guys' day productive?
Oh man, I mean our day is going good, man. I mean we're excited for tonight. Hopefully Freak Show and the boys will actually be able to come in for a little bit. We got my boy Rebel Joe here with some very, very special secrets as well as some really dope ass shit that we're gonna be talking about tonight. So I am excited. I'm stoked.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hopefully they do. The other dudes come in. That would be fun. Um, is this your guys' first time doing this, or is this like you guys have been doing this and I'm just kind of new to it?
Yeah, no, we've actually been doing it for a little over
Over
a
a
year
year
now.
now,
Joe
Joe
has
has
actually been
actually
doing
been
it
doing
for a
it for a
few
few
years.
years.
Yeah, man, I've been doing
Oh
conspiracy
nice.
shows. I used to do them mostly on the radio, on my radio station on Reckless Radio. But now I've started incorporating the videos because I'm noticing that, artists and stuff that like they're more open to have talks like this, whether they believe it or not, rather than people that just shut it out right off the hop. We like talking about stuff like this because it opens your mind. Doesn't mean you have to believe. It's just the possibility of maybe. People seem to forget all that. We've lost, we
Yeah.
lost, we lost our belief in Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny. Like we've lost that hope that we used to have and stuff. And with these talks and the artists that we have, we're just hoping to open the conversation, broaden our minds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, identify as like a pagan, so like I definitely believe in supernatural and things beyond or normal human comprehension. So I'm definitely not someone that's like completely you know uh opposed to the possibility of like other beings and civilizations that could be out there and such. And I mean, there's a lot of people I feel like that are unfortunately of the like, well, unless I can see it, then like I don't believe in it. But it's just like that's like only like um I feel like that's only one like uh sense that most people use. It's like just because you can't see it or like it's not tangible to you, you know, in person. Like that means that it's like not real. Like I don't know. I just feel like that's I believe in you know things like that, like other civilizations and Hollow Earth, or I think it's also called a Agartha or something like that. I've heard that also, but maybe that's like a different like what's it called
like
sig
Sig
maybe
or maybe
Hey,
like
hey,
another
like
hey,
another
region that calls
region that
it
calls it that.
yes. Yeah, I actually have a picture. I'll bring it up. It's a good thing you mentioned it. But it has those regions and it splits it up into its names.
nice.
They're
Yeah, I know. I
Nice.
saw
Yeah, I
right
know.
now.
I
That's
saw right now.
cool.
That's cool.
yeah. So they got Sambala, Magana Kent, the other names I can't pronounce, but yeah, all with a center kind of sun, which to me it blew my mind. I'm like, but it makes sense, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, because shit just didn't disappear. Like all those caves, all those tunnels that go everywhere, all those old ancient civilizations. Even the Sumerians talked about an Earth and other civilizations within the Earth.
yeah,
Yeah.
Earth's mantle. So to me, it just blew my mind. I'm like, oh man, like, this shit is insane. Tibetan monks and there's caves in Brazil, and then I fell onto like some of the guardians, or even like my favorite guy, Bigfoot. Some of the guardians to these. So it ties it into that all the time. I'm a huge Bigfoot. I love to believe in the possibility of,
yeah.
Yeah.
Sasquatch. You can't inject politics. You can't inject nothing. It's just you either believe it or you think it's a funny story. So that's why
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Bigfoot, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the same way with like faith folk too. I believe in because I used to live in Oregon, and like Oregon, I definitely like experienced a lot of like faith folk. So like fairies and like bands like sensing banshees and like skinwalkers and stuff like that. So I definitely believe that like something like you know a Garda could definitely exist because I've read about a lot of like the lore. My thing is like, what would you guys like if you guys were to like imagine like, because I know that it's supposed to be like, a different civilization that lives there. Like, what kind of humans? You think be just like humans like us, or like maybe like humans that have evolved into like a more like advanced version of us? Like, would it be like a human with like a bunch of fucking eyeballs or like fucking tentacles or something?
Tentacles
I
or
don't know. What do
something.
you
I don't know.
guys
What
think?
do you guys think?
I believe that there's different layers. Like those at the center are probably very enlightened. They're not living off any pollutants. They're using the Earth's natural energy for lighting and harmony. And I think that it's a society where instead of people being forced to work in order to eat and survive, people are choosing to work because they have time and they have pride in their art. So I think it's for us to ever even think about going there, I think humans have to up their vibrations and their frequencies. Because I believe we've been out of tune with so much for so long that we don't have the right frequency anymore as a
Yeah,
civilization.
I
Yeah,
agree
I agree
completely.
completely.
And I feel like a lot of, the reason why I feel like there's just this like idea in like our society that there's only like one God and there's only one place we're gonna go when we die is the reason why like, we haven't been able to like why a lot of people don't believe in stuff like this is because like they've been so like indoctrinated by like, you know, the religious, you know and I'm not bashing anyone that has like religious beliefs, but I feel like sometimes like there tends to be certain spiritualities that tend to like try to pigeonhole people into believing in only one specific like and that's kind of like and I'll go into like kind of like you know that's kind of what I do with my music. Is a lot of like my own music. I explore ideas of like you know um, different belief systems and like not falling into like the trap of like only being able to like have one specific belief. Being able to be open to like different levels of consciousness and different levels of like spirituality. And I feel like that's something as a society that we should all try to I guess go back into. I feel like we've lost that, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And for me, I was born in the '70s, so I seen the world go through a dramatic change. Just even in political views, where I grew up with a conservative uncle and a hippie liberal aunt, and it was never a big thing. Like it was never made to divide. But I seen every tool manipulating people to fight amongst everything that like they got us busy while they're screwing us over, basically,
Yeah, exactly.
right? So
Yeah, yeah,
with the music and the independent artists, I find your art shows through. It's not like I say mainstream, but it's not that it's mainstream. It's that it's been refined and it beats to a different frequency. And the independent artist, your art still shows through, and I think that's why it's more of a frequency building. Like the Juggalo community has been so wonderful to me. Like I didn't even know it existed until last year, and Drew, and like horrorcore and stuff. Like, so I do believe that it's because you're genuine to your art. It's not
yeah,
necessarily the stories you tell, but the genuine frequency you put into your art that ties this whole movement together. I think it's wonderful.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
like
And
even
like even for me,
for me who doesn't like necessarily consider myself to be like completely part. I mean, I'm definitely like involved in the Juggalo community just because like the type of music that I do definitely like a lot of the Juggalo and the community, that community just like fucks with my shit. Like I never really thought of myself as being part of it at first because like I just kind of called my music like trap metal, and but like trap metal like and horror and like trap metal horrorcore. So like the type of music that I do is definitely like we all use kind of the same like beats. We use it's a lot of the same subject matter, but like yeah, I feel like with the Juggalo community, I feel like I've been more welcomed in the Juggalo community than I've been in like like for example, I grew up in like the punk community. Like I'm from SoCal, which is like the big nardcore punk scene, and I feel like yeah, I had my friends that supported me because it's just kind of what we do. But like I feel like there was still this like alienation that I felt like I wasn't no bands wanted to like have me to like vibe with my ideas of what I want my lyrics to sound like. They just wanted to like make what they wanted to make. So I feel like yeah, like I feel like since I've been kind of involved in the community, it's been you know and unfortunately I have a lot of friends who kind of like they like to kind of clown on the Juggalo community, and a lot of it has to do with like a lot of the like negative stigmas that the Juggalo community have. But like, there's so many different communities that have had like negative stigmas about them. So it's just like to me, I just have learned not to give a shit and like learn that I am part of it and I'm proud of it. I may not necessarily like be like I don't want to I don't want to like fully consider myself to be like a full blown juggalo because like it's definitely not fully my culture, but at the same time I'm very proud to be part of it, and I'm very happy that they've accepted me as part of the community, even though I may not necessarily feel 100%, like I'm like part of it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely.
But
Okay, so I got this here. Okay, so structures like this in the middle of the bush where nobody ever goes. Have you ever stumbled across stuff like this?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So these are the type of habitation that Sasquatch is built. And it's their
Yeah,
playground. They'll string a bunch of stuff and like that. And they also use it to kind of mark off where they feel, you should stand this side, or and then their side is the other side. And I've there's different energies between the side that they tell you to stay on and the side that you go on. These creatures blend in almost supernaturally with their environment. That's why Sasquatch amazes me.
Well, there's also different like from when I lived up in Oregon, I actually noticed that there a lot of the trees that I would like stumble upon, because I've talked about how like I believe in like the fae folk and stuff. There's a lot of trees where you can like see there's like certain holes that kind of almost look like mini caves. And in my opinion, I had a friend up there who was she's a herbalist and a kitchen witch, and also she uses a lot of like herbs from nature to use in her magic. And she says that like those are like definitely anything that's like strangely put into like a natural area like that, that's like a portal, or like a kind of like area that is involved with something supernatural, whether it's Bigfoot or a fae folk, or like areas of water that have like a unnatural like kind of whirlpool to it, like maybe like the site for like different like river monsters. So like I definitely believe like when you look at structures like that, for sure, they're definitely like you know
You know. Inhabited by
like
Yeah.
different.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, I've fallen upon this weird. YouTube's been feeding me these weird videos lately about the water spirits and mermaids now. So like, I'm like, some of it, okay, it seems fake, but some of it is like, holy shit! It even like it scares the shit out of whoever fucking sees it, because these things are freaking like they come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I see that. I still see it.
like I live like in a beachy area, and like ever since as long as I can remember, I've seen things like lights in like areas of the ocean where like it's just like unnatural, or like seeing like different like cavernous areas. So it's like to disregard those as like being something supernatural. I think it's just people trying to ignore it and not wanting to like accept it. And it's sad because I don't know, I think it'd be cool to like know that things like that exist. Fuck, I want to meet some mermaids, as long as they're not the ones that try to drag me to my death and shit. But yeah, definitely.
Sorry, I was trying to get some images ready there. I gapped out for a second.
No,
You're good.
Way to go, Joe.
I know, right?
you're
All right, hold on. Mermaid pulls man into water. Man, okay, yeah. I'll show you a clip of this video, man. It freaked the shit out of me, man. Very scary. Yeah, find the right one, man. It was insane. Oh, now YouTube's not giving it to me. Just because I'm looking for it. Well, you know what? Screw it. Do it. Yep. So, this is a photo of what is supposed to be a Sasquatch. Like, whether it is or not is irrelevant. What I see here is, if you're out on the highway and Montana, Oregon, like, you've seen big thick forests, you know that you cannot see 50 feet in there. And if something's intelligent enough to stay the fuck away from the road, these things are carnivores. Like they should be taken like not. People should be taking these things seriously. 'Cause I seen deers torn in half. Like
Yeah,
these
Yeah,
things-
it's crazy.
So I do believe in fairies also, especially up in the Ireland section, the Celtic lore. I believe it's all built on something like they found little houses, like little huts and stuff. And when the Vikings first came-
Well,
if I can
if I can interject real quick,
there's
there's actually
a lot
of
different
areas of the world that have
their
their own idea
of
of like faithful. There's not like one specific region
that
that has like a specific like
only
that's where always reason.
like there's
Like there's like fairy types in India,
I did not know that.
Netherlands.
yeah
I'm really into like the whole fairy folklore
stuff, so
stuff, so I study a little too
into it.
into it.
But
Yeah,
there's
there's a lot of different areas of the world that have faith folk.
So like in
America,
America
would be more like
kind of like in the Native American type of like teachings of like spirituality. So there's a lot of like faith folk that are kind of like seen as like almost like deer people, just because of like like when like kind of like the skinwalker and the wendigos and stuff. And it's not just like fairies. Like you have to remember, there's also like gnomes that are considered fae folk. Elves are obviously considered fae folk. Banshees are considered fae folk. What else? Mermaids. Like anything that has like a supernatural. Anything that's not like that anything supernatural that's like not like dead or like a like or a ghost, that's considered, in my opinion, from what I've read, it's definitely like faithful. But yeah, there's a lot of people that will only really recognize like fae folklore and like kind of like those like Irish, UK or like Scandinavian areas. And I feel like that's just because of just the fact that it's like that's like the most popular like area of folklore and stuff, especially like also in Norse mythology. There's a lot of like fae folk kind of things. But and I don't know, I've even heard that like even Bigfoot's considered like not fae folk, but like definitely in that like category of like that type of entity or whatever.
and see, once again, Bigfoot crosses into another, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So for me, I just love the idea of Sasquatch, Bigfoot, rock ape, Yeti. What is down south in Louisiana, the Swamp Man or something, or the Swamp Dog. Like
The River
The
Man.
Riverman.
yeah, these creatures exist, and they've been here long before us, and they're probably the guardians of the entrances to the Hollow Earth, because they all appear in
Definitely.
provincial parks and national parks that are protected, that we can't go explore half of them. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like
Even
even like
in my opinion,
like certain
certain
areas
areas
that are like restricted might be the reason why they're restricted is because they might be like kind of like areas that might be like portals to different dimensions for like middle earth, or like anywhere, not even just middle earth, but like just different like areas, like maybe like different realms of like the fringe or something, or like different
Reptilians.
yeah
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'm on a big reptilian kick lately too.
they're cool.
They're cool.
I really
I
want
really want it.
I really want
I
a
really-
gecko for some reason.
Geckos are cool, man. They stick. They're the ones that stick, right?
Yeah, well, there's different types. There's leopard geckos, which are the more popular ones as for like pets, and then there's like house geckos, which like usually you'll find in like Texas, and those things. Because I used to visit my family in Texas, and you'll literally see like house geckos just like running around the house, and sometimes like I think even in like parts of Mexico, you have it. No, oh well, maybe I'm. But like yeah, like Texas has a lot of them. But like yeah, geckos. There's different types of geckos and stuff that are you can keep them as pets, and then there's ones where they'll just like probably run away from you.
So, okay, now we talked about conspiracies and stuff like that. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about your music and stuff, and like, come on, man, like people want to know. It's like inquiring minds.
Who wants to go? Would it just be me talking about my music? Or,
Yeah,
obviously, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like you're on with us, but like let people know where they can find your music and stuff, what you're about. Yeah, I'm
So you can pretty much find most of my stuff on like most streaming platforms. I'm usually most active when it comes to like looking for like my view. Like when I want to like see how many views I have, I usually look on my Spotify. But I'm pretty much everywhere. I'm on Spotify, Pandora. I believe I'm on Apple Music. I'm on Deezer. I'm on pretty much all the like major music sites that like DistroKid usually puts their music on. I'm on YouTube Music. Um, you could, you like, I think I'm on Instagram. Like if you like want to put like background music to images, I have my stuff on there. So yeah, that's usually where my music is. I guess I don't know. In terms of like, I guess I could talk about like my influences. A lot of my influences are like, I grew up in like the hip hop, the rap, and like the punk scene here in SoCal. So like, I was surrounded by like both, punk music and metal music, as well as like hip hop music, whether it be like rap music or like West Coast rap or cholo rap, trap metal. I grew up around a lot of that, so a lot of my influences are from my love of hip hop music as well as metal and punk and goth music and stuff. And I definitely get like a lot of people telling me that like mainly with my aesthetic, like especially on stage and my music, that I give them like Marilyn Manson vibes, which I'm cool with, but I also get like Ghostwing vibes and 3 6 Mafia vibes and sometimes like Suicide Boys and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like I just kind of like to do my own thing with my music. Actually, I'm working on some material for a hopefully an album by the end of this year. I have a couple more songs that I'm going to be recording, and then I have some shows coming up soon with my homeboys in Bio Gang, Bio Freak. So it's going to be fun year for me. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a musician, just trying to like get my name out there, get my music out there. I don't really care about the money. I care more just about getting my art out there and doing shows and stuff. So
Well, here at Reckless Radio, we'll be pleased to play your songs on our station in the rotation. And what we're doing is with partnership with BioFreak Records and stuff. Listen, it's not Metallica that needs our money. What we're doing here is we're trying to fill up our whole roster with independent artists. That way, when we start selling advertising, they will get the bulk percentage of the streaming revenue, right? Rather than, Spotify's okay and stuff, but I feel that with the underground, this is where Reckless Radio makes an impact.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like the thing with the underground community when it comes to music is that a lot of these streaming platforms are kind of a detriment to our success. I mean, it's a thing to help get our names out there and stuff, but like I think the thing that sucks is that like they take such a percentage away from us that like makes it hard for us to get money back to and like I said, it's not about the money isn't about like, oh, I want the money because I want to get all these things that I want. Well, but the money is to help.
Your time,
You
your
know,
art, like
yeah.
yeah, like artists. Prince said it best, man. The digital age is gonna have to find a way to balance out paying the artists for their art in this new form of doing things, right? Because no matter what, it, you it's yeah, like you said, it's not about the money. Like long gone are the days of the millionaire music contracts and all that, and like the whole industry's changed. That now, just to get paid a decent thing for your art, can't ask for better than that. Come on, man. That's not an art.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like the thing that for me like that for a while just discouraged me to continue on with this. And now I'm like, I'm confident, and I feel like I'm going places with it. And the thing that I felt like kind of discouraged me from doing this and like wanting to continue on is just like that fact that like a lot of times from the past, from like, because my dad has been involved in music for years, and I feel like the thing that really like made it to where like it almost like wore him down was the money aspect, like you said, and the fact that like back then it was about word of mouth, and it was about like who you know and shit. And I feel like there is beauty in the fact that we're in a digital age, but we also have to remember to utilize it properly, and also be able to like utilize other aspects of our art form, like instead of only relying on like the digital bullshit, we also be able to like rely on like resources that are like more accessible, like um instruments that maybe like learning how to play a new instrument, or like you know um networking with friends to like do like DIY shows, and like make it to where it's like not just like about having all the like whole hookups, but like having like you know to do everything from scratch. Like I remember and then with I feel like it is a little bit harder with our music because a lot of our music does have a backing track, but there are other ways that like we can be DIY, like making our own like DIY like sets, making our own like props and stuff, not just having just like, because that's the one thing that I feel like is lacking in a lot of um music nowadays is like sometimes it is having stage presence, it is having you know um the ability to drop people in. So
Right?
I feel like yeah,
look at Gwar. You know the band Gwar?
of course,
I've seen
them.
So like there's a perfect example of like getting their stage prompts and stuff. Like they weren't the best of musicians, but they had a show. Right? And
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
went to see
exactly.
Gwar, if you were in the front, you were getting sprayed. You know it. Like it was not a surprise. And their costumes were outlandish, and their voices were loud.
Yeah. And then like what was I gonna say? Even and I know this might sound stupid, but even like people like Britney Spears, like she's definitely like not the greatest singer ever, but it's just the fact that she has a stage presence. And I mean, like, yeah, you still should have talent, but like at the same time, like talent, unfortunately nowadays can only take you so far. So like, being able to do things like having like really decent stage production, or even just having good energy on stage. Like having good energy is like takes you so far. And it took me a long time because I'm very socially awkward. I won't lie to you. I'm very socially awkward. I'm autistic, so like I have a tendency to be very like shy at times. So like I have to push myself, but like I feel like that's something that like is easy to utilize. Like you don't have to have $1 million or like a high budget to be able to like make a show fucking dope as fuck. Like you can like do things like have fucking fake blood on stage and just pour it all over yourself, or like just like do like weird hand movements, or like do some kind of weird like just energetic like kind of running around that just gets that crowd hyped up. Like that's like a great way to like utilize you know um do it yourself kind of things and not have to spend a bunch of money. And that's a great way, in my opinion, to get us as artists out there. Because it's not just, oh, they make great music. It's also, dude, they have such a great stage presence and they're so personable. Like being personable is another great thing, I feel like, is being personable with like your audience. You know what I mean? That's what really helps. And I won't lie to you, I'm still like not completely all the way there with like my audience. Like I still have a lot of work I got to do to get more, views and stuff. But like I'm learning as I go that I need to that having a good stage presence, having you know a personable approach to how you connect with your fans is like the best way to get like your music out there and to get you as an artist out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know what? It's been such a great pleasure to meet you tonight, Lolly Rock.
Yeah, dude.
And I hope we get some of your songs on the station so we can get it in the rotation and put it in the play there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just
Just message me. I'll send you links and stuff.
Hey, we got Drew back.
Yeah, Lolly Rob, man. Yo, I just want to say, man, it was great to have you on the show tonight, brother. And I appreciate you, man. Hopefully, we can do this again sometime soon where, the sound and everything, as well as just like, the overall, like, making sure we get everything 100%. We'll do it again and it'll be dope, man, for sure.
Yeah, and I'll be a lot more prepared this time, knowing what to talk about. Because yeah,
You're
I
good.
definitely, yeah. All right, well, I'll let you guys go. I gotta get me and my significant other fed before we kill each other.
You're good, man. Yo,
Thanks,
have,
thanks
have,
again.
Have a good.
Thanks again for being with us. Like it was
yeah,
a real
yeah,
pleasure. I love meeting the artists.
But
And it's not mainstream that we ever get this chance to do this. And I think the people that watch us and listen to our radio station feel the same way.
all right, love you guys. I will talk to you guys soon. Probably tune back in later if anything. All right.
Peace.
Ooh.
Man, yeah, such an interesting guy, right? And to find out that he has autism and stuff, I think he did fantastic by jumping in with both feet like that tonight. And
Right.
I can't wait to have him back on because I got so many questions that we're not gonna relate to the conspiracy, but more with the trap metal that he plays because I'm a metalhead, right? So I want to I want to get in deeper with the music next time.
Yeah, and
Man,
T. Lolly
is
is
a
a very interesting musician, man. He's a very interesting musician. He has so much to offer. And honestly, I mean, just like myself interacting with him, with Freak Show and the other guys on BioFreak and BioGang, he's phenomenal, man. And he's such a good, genuine person. And his music speaks so highly that it's almost like once we dive deeper in, you're just going to be like, yo, this is incredible. Like my mind is blown. You know what I mean? So it's going to be great, man.
Well, once again, you never disappoint when you bring on a guest. So thanks for being with me tonight, Drew. We pushed through another show, and we'll keep on building our presence as we get more comfortable with this stuff, and we get better with the technology. And we try different programs. We might try a different program next time, but for now, thanks for being with us.
Hey, absolutely honor to be back on here with you, bro. Especially, I mean, shout out to Lolly Rot, BioFreak Records, BioGang, Reckless, BioFreak Radio, because you already know what it is. Yo, man, salute to all of our listeners. We love y'all, man.